Hello, my name is Connor, and I'm here with my friend Tom, and today we are going to be talking about men's mental health. This topic can be hurtful to some people.
This is an extremely serious topic and will not be talked about lightly, so if you wish to not listen, please click off now.
Suicide is a very intense topic to talk about, and if you or someone you know is considering suicide, please seek help by calling 13 11 14.
Looking at some of this information here is really sad. It really knocks you into reality looking at some of this information. For example, 6 or 7 men per day take their own life worldwide.
That is really bad. It might not sound like a lot, but when you add that up, the amount of people that take their own life per year adds up to around 2,500 people that die due to suicide every single year.
Statistics say that men are 75% more likely to take their own life than women.
On the bright side of things, the Tasmanian government has started to take action against this glaring issue by investing $3 million into companies such as Headspace, Kids Helpline, and Beyond Blue, allowing kids or people or adults with these issues to call these numbers and to be able to receive the help that they need.
Reason being for this project is to spread awareness around to people that don't realise how big of a problem this is. Connor and I have gone around to different places to see why they're doing this and what they're trying to achieve.
Let's have a look to see what they have to say about this.
It'd be really important to maybe think about how we can, open up, encourage people to open up a little bit more. So I think that there can be a bit of a sort of a stigma attached to men being emotional and being open about how they feel and if they were struggling. It can be a bit of a generalisation, but they say that some women or girls seem to be a little bit more open to be talking about how they feel, and you might know when they're struggling a bit more than maybe men. Because there's sort of like, that sort of masculine stereotype.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a blokey thing to do to cry, or it's not a blokey thing to do to hug your mate and ask him how he's going, that sort of thing. And so sometimes I think sort of it can be easier for men to bottle it up. I think that knowing and accepting help is out there is an important thing. So feeling safe and comfortable with talking to someone else about how they feel can be important, because if they were to share how they feel with another person, then that other person might be able to point them in the direction of some help, like us here at Kids Helpline. So we do talk to young people across Australia who experience thoughts around ending their life. And so what we do here is that we support them with like a safety plan. So a safety plan can look at who you can talk to when you're feeling a bit unsafe in your feelings. It can involve what you can do yourself. So sorts of things that you can do in your environment. So by not having those opportunities to talk to someone else about it, to help them process it and to help them make sense of things, then I think things can get really hard. So, if they're able to reach out and talk about a bit of a safety plan, what they could do to keep themselves safe, or who it is that they could talk to when they feel like acting on thoughts to end their life. And to try and develop a bit of a sense of hope about the future, because a lot of people that kill themselves may not necessarily want to die, they just want the pain of their life to end. I think that us here at Kids Helpline would be a really good start. Yeah, I think Kids Helpline, people like school counsellors. Do you have a school counsellor?
Yep.
Yeah. So if things aren't okay at home, because sometimes things can be really hard. Sometimes that's where a lot of problems can sort of stem from. If things are tricky at home with your mum and dad, then being able to talk to like someone at school about it, like a school counsellor or a trusted teacher, is a really good first
Probably first noticed mental health issues and, depression, anxiety sort of creeping on at probably about 17, 18. Was very new for me. I'd never dealt with anything like that ever. Had a very good life at home. Had a good loving family. Had good loving friends. So it was very new and very unknown for me. But yeah, about 17, so about 11 years ago now. Yeah, most definitely. At the beginning, it was quite hard because these were new feelings that I didn't know how to process or deal with. So at the beginning, it was quite hard to come out and talk to people or think it was okay because it was very new for me as well to process at the
Yeah.
same time. But yeah, most definitely, it was that time of like reaching out to my parents and friends and getting that support network around you. Yeah. So there definitely was a time where it was
Yeah.
hard to speak up and hard to talk and hard to ask for help and whatnot. Because it's
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
something you need to stay on top of even to this day. It's something that you can't. It's not something that you can take some medication for a little while and it will fix it and everything will go back to normal. Um, so it's just maintaining that, maintaining your mental health and making sure that I maintain it. And you see signs, you learn signs to sort of see yourself slipping, and you can see yourself starting to go down
Mm.
that's that depression sort of state, or and so yeah. It feels pretty dark, pretty not hopeful. Like as I said, you're very negative. You don't look at positivities, or there is no positivity. Everything you look at, or every situation you look at it with a negative sort of outlook, because you are you don't think there's hope. You don't think you're gonna feel better. Or you think you're gonna always be down and upset and
Yeah.
lonely and etc. So you're not looking at the brighter picture as such. So that's definitely some signs where you start. You've just got to you've got to push yourself to.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of so it's taken me many years to learn the signs of what happens and sort of how it all begins. So I think now like at my worst, and I've had many cases over the years where I do have sort of an episode, or I do have sort of a situation happen where I start on a spiral sort of thing, and it just sort of starts spiraling down, and before I know it, I'm back at my psychologist, blabbering mess, crying, telling her how much like, I'm unhappy and
Yeah.
how much I don't want to be here, and it just, that's the hardest bit because all the work I've just done has just been wiped out. So, I'm
Yeah.
literally back at square one now, sitting in front of her, absolute mess, whatever the case, and I'm starting from scratch again essentially. So that's definitely when sort of that you've hit rock bottom. It's just really once again about the signs. Sort of biggest thing is like they don't want to do anything. They don't want to go out. They don't want to you see a difference in their behaviour.
Mm.
They may not be outgoing, or they different like not want to come out and do anything with you, or just leave the house or get out of bed. Or so I guess they're major sort of signs for me, or for sort of anyone.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of that's the biggest thing I think is pulling themselves away and stepping back from the group of friends or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's sort of I think my biggest sort of sign, I would say. Um, like definitely seeing someone and talking to someone, like psychologists, and that definitely helped
Mm.
me anyway in my sort of situation where I can go to someone and like a complete stranger essentially,
Yeah.
new set of ears, don't know me, they're not involved with the situation. So and just tell, and the best thing is I've sort of learned from that is just ways to deal with it. Ways to process these feelings, a way to process how I feel, or that sort of side of things. So that's been very beneficial to me in that regards, because she sort of has taught me tools to use and sort of put in place in life to help myself, sort of deal with these things. Because as I said, like no medication's going to make it disappear. Like it's something you're probably going to have to live with forever, essentially. The biggest thing is sort of with me, as I said, it's not like I didn't start very young. Like as I said, I didn't come from any bad situation, or I didn't have anything sort of, I didn't, I had parents that, loved me and did everything for me, and, so I, went to a good school, everything like that. So I had a quite, I never dealt with any of that, like never dealt with mental health or that side of things until I was about 18 years old. So, and sort of my biggest thing was, I joined the army, so I went to the army, and that was my step where it started, because I went there and they treat you pretty average, and they make you question how your worth and everything like that. And for the first time in my life, I was actually doing that. I was questioning, well, am I worth it? Or where I'd never dealt with any of that. I'd always been a positive outlook, confident person. Where for the first time I'm sitting there going, well, maybe I'm not worth much. Maybe you get told it that much, you start believing it. In a rut, I was depressed, I wasn't happy, got out of a relationship, all that rubbish, kind of thing. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, move, righty right. And I think my biggest thing with moving was thinking that it was gonna solve the problem. And at the end of the day, I can't run from this. It doesn't matter where I go in the world, or it's something that I need to deal with, and I'm always going to have to deal with. So yeah, there's definitely, I know when I sort of first moved up there, going through a lot, and then obviously being away from my family then as well, so it was just like more variables into it, friends, family, and sort of it felt very, very alone and very isolated, and that was a really bad moment. Like that was, I remember that night, driving to the beach, and the beach is about 40 minutes away from where I live, and the whole way just thinking like 110 k's on the highway kind of thing, and the whole way just thinking, how easy would it be just to rip on the steering wheel right now, and just be done with it. And then got to the beach, and I'm texting my mum, which is down here, telling her like I love you and goodbye, and she's like, you know what I mean, and then my cousin, like that lives up there too, like she's ringing me like, where are you? I'm coming to get you. So that was a pretty bad moment for me. Like that was pretty rock bottom for me. Like where I really didn't want to do it anymore, and I really didn't want to do. Like I was just done. Just like basic, just most things really. You just when you're at that bottom, or that sort of that spiral of going down that bottom. I think it sort of starts with me. Like I shut off. I don't want to speak to people. I don't want to talk to anyone. Don't want to go out and see anyone. Sort of don't want to leave the house. Essentially, I just want to lock myself up and just be sad, and be depressed, and sleep and lie around, and at the end of the day, it makes you feel worse. It does more damage than good. Because like you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, and it's like, okay, well, this is not good that's happened, but I'm the only one that can do something about it. No one else can. My mum can't. My mates can't. The doctor, even psychologists, they can't. At the end of the day, it comes down to me. I personally never have. And there's no reason why. It's just purely because I had a good support network around me. So my mum, she was so good. Like it was the hardest thing ever telling your mum and your parents. It's so hard to tell. And I was 18 years old. Like I wasn't a little kid. So I had this big persona, that I felt like I had to be, and big tough man, tattoos, like don't care about, like you can't be sad, or you can't cry, or you can't talk to your mate about how you feel, like, and I agree completely. There is a very big stigma across that, and it's obviously changed a lot within the last so many years. But it definitely always has been like you know, that difference of masculine and male, and you know, you can't be sad or you know whatnot. So it's and it's definitely not that. You know, I guess my biggest thing was accepting that you know the people that do love me and want to
Yeah.
support me will love me and support me. You know.
Well, thank you for coming in today, Justin.
No
like,
worries,
Really
guys.
awesome.
yeah, it's
Great.
been really great. Like, clearly you've made a lot of progress in your years, and it's just great to see. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
No,
coming in
no
and
worries,
talking
no
to us
worries.
today.
Appreciate it, guys.